We're going to have blue team is actually Fullerton once again, and Kingwood is purple team coming out here. And this is the High School Star League tournament coming at you right now. These are all high school teams competing across the nation for a prize pool that has yet to be announced, but it is going to be something of monetary value, I believe. So
right off the bat, we have an Elise man who's been a really strong jungler due to her repel, lets her jump over walls, lets her gank really well. Her cocoon, which the stun, is really strong. I think that Diana is probably a targeted ban at one of the players on Fullerton. We've got Jarvan, another strong jungler due to his wall jump. He doesn't have to build damage to do damage due to his percent damage and his armor shred. And we have Shenban for the global, getting rid of the global presence.
And why do you think Diana's banned? You said it was a targeted ban.
I said targeted ban, probably against one of their mid players that may or may not play Diana a lot. We don't know these players.
Yeah, but Diana is still a very good champion that applies a lot of pressure, and since she's one of those assassin AP mids, she has a lot of mobility, and she's really only on par or really matched in terms of playstyle with an Akali, because the other assassin mids, like Kassadin, have more spell casting to them as opposed to melee damage.
Right.
So Diana's more of a melee type, kind of like Akali, which is only seen in assassin ADs like Zed and Kha'Zix. So that mobility that she has is actually quite unique in that she can use her Q to get on somebody and then use her R to distance close twice, which really messes up people who have one distance closer or one gap creator. So if you, like, she uses her Q and then jumps to a Caitlyn, and then the Caitlyn jumps away, she can use it again to close that distance. So she's very scary with repeatable dashes. So Caitlyn ban coming out, that's kind of surprising, but kind of not, considering how powerful Caitlyn is early game.
Though you think people would ban, maybe ban Vayne more just due to how strong she can get, but I guess because Vayne has such a weak early game presence that they don't bother doing it, because you could just pick a Caitlyn. But maybe that's why Fullerton banned Caitlyn, just so they can pick a Vayne and not have to deal with that range of Caitlyn overpowering Vayne. And what do you think about the jungle Nasus?
I think jungle Nasus is a very, well, it might be a top lane Nasus, we don't know, but we do see Nasus excelling in the jungle, so I wouldn't be surprised if it is a jungle Nasus. He's very powerful. The fact that he can just start farming his Q up without anybody harassing him is really a big thing. And the fact that his Wither can force people to blow summoner spells quite quickly. You see an Nasus run into your lane, he withers you, and he's going to catch up to you. He's going to be able to just hit you, and there's really nothing you can do about that if you rely on your attack damage or your auto attacks to do damage to the people who are aggressing on you. So Nasus is really great for late game as well, and the fact that he can do Dragon at level 6 solo because of his ultimate is really big, and the fact that he blows Baron up really quickly with his R, with his Fury of the Sands, I believe it's called, is just really, really powerful.
I think someone should fix the overlay on the top left, because it's showing the Nasus to summoner, or it's showing most people's summoner spells actually.
Yeah, sadly the overlay isn't exactly lined up because the resolutions are a little weird, but you know what, we tried. You know, I can try to fix it, but it's just gonna get sloppier if I try to. I swear, watch, I'll try to fix it. I swear, watch this, like, so everybody can see this while I'm trying to do it. Ah, nope. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. What have I done? Look at that. What have I done?
I can't tell any difference, but okay.
Look at that. Look at that. Oh no. It'll line up on like one side but not the other. So it's
oh boy. Okay. Well, I guess forget that. So we have a cannon.
Oh, and that is about as good as it's going to get, ladies and gentlemen.
Well,
oh wow! So
the Kennen pick, Kennen's been very popular in the pro scene recently. He has a very strong AOE and AOE CC as well, just due to his passive with the stuns. Once you get 3 charges from any of his spells, hitting champions. is he going versus a Shinzao top, or is that? Do you think that Shinzao is going to be in the jungle?
I'm really not sure. I think Xin Zhao in the jungle has kind of fallen off because of his lack of a jump over walls. See, the reason that a lot of junglers have become extremely prevalent lately is because they become zero risk junglers when you invade or try to create pressure. Like hypothetical situation, I bring a Jarvan and then I go into your jungle and I try to invade your red, but you're there waiting for me. I can immediately go to the dragon pit, dragon standard toss over it, and I'm just like, okay, well, I'm out of there. But if I invade you with something else, if I invade you with a Xin Zhao, I have no way of getting over that wall unless I flash. The reason that people pick up Zac, Elise, is because you can do that. Jarvan, you can also do that. Sejuani, you can do that. You can't do that with Xin Zhao or Nasus. But the reason that Nasus is so prevalent lately is because Nasus has really strong jungle presence, and you can't duel him. He will wither you and just run away from you. So,
or just wither you and smack you.
Yeah, and he will just smack you for lots of damage. And the wither really helps his other teammates come up and help and collapse on you. So you'll be kind of screwed in that sense. And that's why Lee Sin is so powerful as well, because he has two mobility tools. He can use his safeguard to a ward, or he can resonating strike, sonic wave resonating strike to the dragon or to something over a wall. Or he can get a sight stone and just go over the wall that way. So it's really kind of a
Did you just cut out?
No, somebody just asked me something.
Okay. But we have a lot of AoE coming out from Fullerton. We have the Nasus ultimate, we have the Lysandre ult, we have Varus ult that does somewhat of an AoE, but and we have Kennen and Zyra. They're going to be a very AoE heavy team, and probably going to look to catch. Probably see Lysandre engage in first, and we'll have Kennen following up. Let's see. Looks like Kingswood has somewhat of good disengage with the Shinzao and the Thresh. They can knock away people and try and spread out those AoE characters a little bit, but we'll see how well that goes. And Orianna, of course, can maybe trap some of the people that are trying to engage on them with her ult and delay them for a little bit using the ult and slow.
And the support Zyra is just so good. We've seen Elimination bring that out with a 100% win rate in the LCS in Cloud9. And that's not only because Cloud9 is such a good team, but because Zyra brings such a large ultimate to the scene. That knock up, that disengage, or that engagement tool is huge. Also with the grasping roots, it's just such a great utility. And the fact that it goes through minions so that you can root somebody through minions, it's not even like a Morgana binding, it goes through them. If you aim it correctly and you can hit somebody with it, it's just so scary. And the fact that you can throw slowing plants down as well just makes it even worse if you actually eat that skill shot.
Yeah, and it has really long range too, so.
Yeah, they've had to I believe they've constantly nerfed the range and the speed on it as well.
Yep.
And I remember back in the day when Zyra first came out and everybody's like, "Oh, wow, she's such a good AP mid." Somebody on Reddit was like, in before she gets picked up by the Koreans and played as a support. And then it happened. And it was hilarious. She's so powerful. She's such a powerful character. I'm surprised we don't see more of her. Aside from, I guess, Elimination and a few other people have played her as well, but she's very good at disengaging as well with the grasping roots. So
and her ultimate. Or is grasping roots her ultimate?
No, grasping roots is her.
Yeah, it's CE, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I keep trying to add this guy to my friends list. Oh, he keeps removing me. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. That's
Isn't
cool.
That the guy that added you and then tried to remove you?
I think he's adding me and removing me, and then just so his name pops up. But whatever. So it looks like we're gonna have Nigga Please OP on the Varus. So when he throws out the tendril, the chain of corruption, he'll be able to actually, you know, I think they'll throw out the grasping roots and then have the chain of corruption come on top of that, and then maybe throw excitedly the Kennen in over that as well, with the roots coming from No Stop Don't on his Lysandre. So they have a lot of roots coming out for Fullerton.
It's gonna be hard to team fight them I think, because if Fullerton gets off all their ults, it's gonna take everyone on Kingswood very low, if not kill them outright. And it'll just give time, especially if they get the CC lock. They're just gonna let Nigga Please OP auto attack everyone to death.
Yeah, and it looks like on the team of Kingswood, we're actually going to see not so much of a an organized comp or scary comp as much as what Fullerton has, because Fullerton looks like they're going for a root disengage slash just constant engagement composition. But Kingwood looks like they're going for slap the Orianna ball on somebody, maybe the Thresh. But Xin Zhao has such a great disengage with his crescent sweep, I believe it's called, that he'd be able he could mess that up.
Yeah. And the same thing with the Orianna ult. She could potentially ult and disrupt the chain of ultimates that Fullerton will try to throw out.
I don't know what people are talking about in chat. Somebody's talking about Nuke Duck playing Zyra mid.
They're discussing that, saying that nobody has ever played Zyra mid.
Oh.
And then so they're talking about that.
Well, Nuke Duck today actually played Fizz mid for the Lemon Dogs and took home a win against I don't remember who they played. No, they played alternate. So now there's a 4-way tie for first place in
Wow.
EU between Team Alternate, Lemon Dogs, Gambit, and Fnatic. I think it might be Fnatic. I don't know. But don't quote me on that. So, yeah, one of them is Fullerton High School. Blue team is Fullerton High School, and purple team is Kingwood High School. So let's talk about the skins coming out really quick right now, since we have a little bit of time before it loads up. What do we got here? We got the championship ribbon, and it looks like it's 1, 2, 3, 2 to 2.
No, we have
three
the
to
Warring
2.
Kingdoms. You have the Warring Kingdoms Shin. Xin.
Is it Shin?
Well,
Xin Zhao. Zin?
I think it's
Is it Zin? Freak said it was Zin in the champion spotlight, so I'm gonna do that.
Xin.
As white as that might sound.
Yeah, it does sound pretty white, because I'm used to pronouncing stuff differently, because... Well, if it's Chinese, at least.
How do you pronounce Nigga Please OP? Is there a different way to say that?
No.
Oh. I was hoping. Alright, so it looks like we're getting into the game now. And we're going to have, once again, Fullerton is the blue team and Kingwood is the purple team. Coming out right now, we have the High School Star League tournament hosted by the High School Star League, the HSL. You can check out their website, check out their Twitter as well. If you like what you're seeing today. And by the way, the casters today are myself, Zirene, and my co-host,
Some guy 1144.
We're bringing you some exciting games. This is the first game in a best-of-3 between Fullerton and Kingwood. Let's get in here. Let's see some action. And what do you think we're going to see in this level 1 coming out here, some guy? I
don't think we're going to see much. I mean, it just looks like they're stacking up to guard their blue. Zyra's pretty late. If they were going to invade, they might have used the Zyra grasping roots to do that, but I don't think their level 1's that strong. They don't have very much damage for level 1, so we wouldn't see it come up from Fullerton, and we might see one. You could see one from Kingswood, but they're just guarding their blue as well. Ping's coming out on the lower jungle for Kingswood.
And it looks like we're just having some standard starts, but some non-standard starts as well. The Kennen taking the cloth 5 potion start as well.
Well, he is going versus Riven, so I think... Does he only have 2 potions?
Let me rephrase that. The cloth 2 potions 1 ward start. That's what I meant to say. So
okay.
he put that ward down at Kingwood's Wraith so that he could see that. So he isn't going to have vision up near where he is, but he's going to be able to see kind of when their jungler Voodoo is going to be in that area and around the red. So he's going to see when he does red, and he's going to see if he starts it or not. So it looks like he's going to get a bit of information from that, but he's not going to be able to see an incoming gank up in the top lane. So you think he's going to transition that cloth armor into a Seeker's Arm Guard, or...?
Probably. I mean, Zonia's is a really good item on Kennen. And,
Yeah.
it does work well with AP characters when you're going versus an AD character. It lets you build a little armor and still get AP.
Yeah.
Which is important for your skills.
And he is against Riven, who could, I think he's afraid of the all-in with a red pot, but he didn't know that Riven also started the same start that he did, the cloth, 1 ward, 2 pots. So I think Riven was thinking that Kennen would start with a Doran's Blade. Yeah, they did nerf Kennen's base damage, though. I believe they took 6 damage off of Kennen at level 1. I believe they made it from 46 to 40. So Kennen, not as much of a pokey champion in lane. And they did reduce the duration of Mark of the Storm, the little mark he leaves on you, from 8 seconds to 6 seconds. So now it's the same cooldown as your W as opposed to, at max rank, as opposed to 2 seconds longer. So you could constantly keep a W up on somebody and just proc that stun. Previously, and that's what gave Kennen so much laning power, was the amount of poke that he brought to the table and safety with his E, so that he could get out of there really quickly. So
I think Riven started cloth 5 just because she is a melee going versus a ranged, and that ranged poke, even if it's not a lot of damage, it adds up over time.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. Like, and especially when you don't have a Doran's Blade on your side or something to sustain you aside from potions, then you might be poked out of lane pretty quickly. So looks like Swagger Badger pushing this lane up a little bit. Don't know if that's intentional or just because Broken Wing, Sky Blast are both AoE abilities that naturally push the lane or shove the lane when you use them. So Voodoo actually doing the Wraiths before he does his red, so they know the exact situation that Voodoo's in. And Pont taking a lot of damage, getting hit by the Grasping Roots and taken down to half HP there. Gonna have to pop a potion, but he's gonna be alright.
Varus and Zyra have a lot of long-range poke. They could just sit back and kind of use their respective skills and just poke enemy champs down. Hail of Arrows does a lot of damage.
You think he's gonna?
Especially if people max that.
Do you think Nigga Please OP is gonna max his piercing arrow or his volley?
I think it'll be the volley.
Oh well, or the hail of arrows. Sorry. So we won't see that until level 4. But you know what? I think we should bet some money on it. I think he's gonna max piercing arrow. That's what I'm gonna say.
I think he's gonna max a hail of arrows just for the slow.
I don't know, but up top we do have the jungler up there, but he is seen by the ward, and Kennen got a pink ward when he came back. But he's not going to be able to see that ward that Riven laid. At least I don't think he's going to be able to, and we will see right now. No, he does not see it.
I lost money. Darn it.
You lost money because...
We have a gank coming down on mid lane, but...
Oh wow, I was told to watch mid. No, don't stop. Gets distance closed on by the Audacious Charge, and Voodoo Llama actually going to do a lot of damage to him, but no, don't stop. No, stop, don't. No, don't stop. No, stop, don't is actually going to be taken down to half HP and going to have to use the potions he brought along with his Doran's Ring. So he has no wards, so his vision is kind of clamped right now. He should be playing a little scared, but he does have that W on Lissandra to get away. And it looks like there might be a counter gank coming out here. If the lane gets pushed in the favor of Voodoo Llama, the Orianna, Nasus will see him coming up. And Doomed Thief might actually make something of this, but no, stop, don't. Doing a lot of damage to Voodoo Llama, getting taken down very low and kills him with the Ignite. That's first blood for No Stop Don't on the team Fullerton. But that, although the first blood came out, the gold is still even.
That's probably due to the CS differences.
It means Swagger Badger and Mr. Bean have both been doing really well.
Yeah, Mr. Bean with 45 CS, and yeah. Oriana's not doing too bad herself either. She's got 38. Well, she is behind Lissandra, but...
and she's picking up that early tier as opposed to going for a Chalice of Harmony. Well, what do you think that's going to do for her in lane?
For Oriana?
Yeah.
It'll increase her AP later, but in lane it kind of makes her a little bit weaker, because she won't be as tanky compared to Lissandra, who picked up a couple Doran's rings. Well, if Lissandra picked up a Chalice of Harmony, but it'll give her more mana just to spam skills.
And while that was happening, we had a skirmish up top come down. We had the Swagger Badger blowing his Blade of the Exile and his Flash right now, and excitedly comes back in. Is very low HP, but Swagger Badger has the Wither down on him from Doomed Thief. And because that ward went down, and we actually down
we-
bottom had a gank come out from Voodoo, and he might have the Audacious Charge back up very shortly. Pont getting the flay onto Nigga Please, and Mr. Beans. Oh man. This is what I get. This is what I get.
Get for what?
Casting the high school tournament.
Oh.
I don't know why. I think I was naive and I thought that nobody would have a bad name. Why would anybody have a name like that? Yeah. Riot, please. Riot, please. Yeah. There's just an extra G in there, and the thing doesn't pick it up. That's incredible. He outsmarted Riot.
Well, someone might report him eventually.
Oh, why would you do that? It's actually pretty awesome. I didn't say that, but it's pretty awesome. So it looks like Excitedly going to come back up to the top lane. Actually, probably a little excited as well because he did get that assist and he pushed Riven out of lane for a little bit. He is behind in CS, and like I said earlier, they have 2 kills up to 1 and the first blood in the favor of Fullerton, but the gold is even. So they're just CSing much better on the side of Kingswood, up to about 400 gold better.
Yeah. I mean, Kennan's basically in the jungler's range with the CS, while we have Lissandra and Riven and Orianna up in the higher ends. Same with Varus and Ezreal.
Yeah, and we have... Go ahead.
Nasus just picked up his red buff. He's probably going to look out to gank somewhere. Probably I'd try and gank down bottom just to try and even that lane back up.
We have a lot of level 6s coming out too, and Kennen actually just warded, but Xin Zhao is there. They're going to get it, close the distance with Audacious Charge, but the Slicing Maelstrom is back up again. He's going to stun both of them, and the Swagger Badger uses the Blade of the Exile to try and finish him off, but it's not going to be enough to finish off that Excitedly. So Xin Zhao does get the ultimate out of Kennen, but it's going to free up Swagger Badger a little bit. Going to have a lane advantage here because he has more HP. And looks like he's going to start roaming or helping out mid. Because No Stop Don't is practically dominating Voodoo right now. He is going to use the Frozen Tomb and the Ignite onto Voodoo Llama. Voodoo Llama uses the ultimate to pull No Stop Don't back into range of turret, but it's not going to be enough, and he drops down.
We've got Nasus sitting in the Tri-Brush down bot. He's probably going to move into gank, but the lane is pushing, so it does look like he's going to recall or just go back to farming his own jungle.
And we saw most people in this game, I think all of them are actually level 6 at this point. Yeah, they all are level 6 at this point, so we're going to see some ultimates coming down. Nasus might try to sneak a dragon by himself, I'm not sure. But he is heading around and hovering around that direction. But this mid lane is just... they need to do something about this, because No Stop Don't is doing a lot of work here. And making Voodoo Llama kind of regret that Orianna pick against Lissandra.
Yeah, Lissandra and Orianna, that matchup, it could go both ways. I mean, you both have the potential to outplay each other, but I think Lissandra is probably in favor of that because she does have more disables and is a lot more mobile.
Yeah, and I think it's Lissandra now 2 levels up, had the blue buff donated to him as well. So Voodoo Llama not having a lot of sustain in this lane, not having a lot of magic resist, opting for that tier, and did pick up a null magic mantle as well to try and help negate some of the damage, and is going to try to poke No Stop Don't out of this lane, and we'll see how successful he is at that. He needs to wave clear this and start pushing up on him and start looking for that CS on the sides, picking up the race as well.
Ping from Kingwood came down on Dragon, but it doesn't look like they're going to go for it.
Yeah, it looks like they're just going to stick around, and no, it looks like they're not going to do it. No, absolutely. I don't know why, but maybe they didn't have as much information as they wanted. That would have been a prime time to do Dragon, though. Both bottom lanes...
Nasus top.
Yeah, both bottom lanes had Bead as well as the middle lane. So No Stop Don't was back, Nigga Please was back, and so was Dig. So this team really likes putting 3 Gs on things. D-I-G-G-G, and then Nigga Please as well has 3 Gs in his name. So
they also like a lot of O's. Voodoo Llama.
Voodoo Llama.
Ho ho.
Voodoo. Maybe it's just the Voodoo. I don't know. But we're gonna have Xin Zhao coming into the middle right now. There is no ward there. No Stop Don't pushing this lane up, and so he's saying, "Oh well," he's acting like he sees me. But no stop, don't actually going to start roaming bottom. And it looks like Nasus is there too, so they're... It looks like maybe they were positioning for your gank, or they were just looking to kill them and then do dragon maybe. Excitedly actually playing safe against this Xin Zhao, even though I don't think he knew he was there. Xin Zhao's just having bad luck.
Well, I think whenever your lane pushes, you get that feeling that the jungler probably sees that, and so you're getting kind of cautious because you can feel that gank coming. The
audacious charge comes out, the slicing maelstrom once again from Excitedly, just to disengage them. So
Excitedly just getting zoned out in that top lane. He's already about 35 CS, or yeah, about 35 CS behind Riven, but he's going to gain a little bit of that.
Yeah, he's 33 CS behind now, and they're looking to make that, to try and compensate for that with maybe doing Dragon right now. So this is looking like a tricky game for Kennen. Swagger Badger trying to do a lot of damage to Excitedly, throws the Ignite down once again, and this is just, I keep feeling like I've seen this like 3 times. The Ignite comes down, the Blade of the Exile, and No Stop Don't's actually going to take the blue away from Kingswood.
And it looks like they're going to go for the Dragon.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to try to pick up the Dragon here. He does have his plants down, ready to start something, but the ultimate's going to come across. Not going to be enough damage to pick it up. Blue team does take the Dragon. Their dig is very low. The Stranglethorn's coming out. The Frozen Tomb is on punt. No Stop Don't trying to get over the wall, but he's back to the corner with the exhaust on him. And they picked up Xin Zhao. And is Mr. Beans going to follow this? No, but the flash does come out from No Stop Don't. And that, I believe, is a 1-for-1 trade, but they do pick up Dragon as well for Fullerton.
Let's see, what did we see that fight? Well, we saw the AoE ultimates just locked up some of the people that dived onto No Stop Don't. And Nasus popped his ult really early there just to do that extra damage to Dragon based on the percentage of the max health. And that may...
Snipe coming out, but he does get Mr. Bean to about 200 HP, 300 HP. Wow, but no, that put them 1k gold in the lead. Gave them a lead that they've been looking for this entire game, because it's not going to be coming from Kennen right now. Oh, Kennen misses the Shuriken, and Swagger Badger looking for that kill there says, I really want that, but the ultimate's back up, the Slicing Maelstrom takes him out, and Kennen gets away with sub 100 HP, 30 HP.
Does really good Slicing Maelstrom, just stunned him under turret.
And I said that advantage wasn't going to be coming from Kennen, but he made me eat my words in about 30 seconds there. Swagger Badger just trying to get in there, trying to do the damage, but couldn't do it. Oh, wow, Voodoo getting taken very low here. Does get Nova'd underneath the turret. It looks like he might... Oh, No Stop Don't! No Stop Don't actually uses his W and ends up with his face right in front of the turret. Well, hello there, Wall.
I think he activated it a little early.
Just a little... You know, he's on TV. Hey, Mom! And he's all excited. The nerves might be getting to him a little, but still. And I don't know if he just did it again right there, but he didn't activate it, and he used his Nova as well. I think he was looking for the steal there, but No Stop Don't. Actually making a little bit of a misplay there, but he's been doing so well this game that a few misplays here and there like that aren't going to cost them the game right now.
Yeah. I mean, he's really far ahead of Orion. Well, he's pretty far ahead of Orion at this point by about 1,500 gold. And it looks like he's going to go roam down bot lane, but he did get spotted by that River Ward.
And the only turret that's been taken is that middle turret, so that's going to free him up to roam. No problem. He's not going to have to worry about his turret getting taken for a decent amount of time. But Oriana and Thresh are actually going to respond to that and try and see if they can catch him out. But Voodoo Ho-Oh has been looking for a gank top forever. He's just constantly in this top lane.
I don't think he's had much success with it, and especially since Excitedly's Slicing Maelstrom's almost up. If they do try to get a gank off, he's just going to pop that and stun him like he did last time.
And they're looking to take this turret down bottom. Doomed Thief. Nasus is such a good tower pusher as well. His wave clear with his Spirit Fire as well as his Q does a lot of damage if you farm it up. And No Stop Don't doing a lot of damage to Swagger Badger. Gets the Ignite down and the Frozen Tomb and actually takes him out for a Rampage. He is 4-0. And he is just starting to roam and be a terror. Meanwhile, down bottom, we have this push continuing. And I believe Pont did B, so there is only going to be one member to answer for this, and that's Ezreal. He's not going to be able to stop that.
Yeah. Pont was too low. He took too much poke from Varus's piercing arrow. And looks like we just have top turret might go down if Excitedly decides to push it, but it looks like he's just going to recall and probably complete items.
I don't know. He might want to take that turret. He might not. He might not want to because Swagger Badger's been playing really aggressive on him, and now he has a 2-level advantage. He might want to milk the Swagger Badger a little more. He is 0-3, but they did make it so that your gold per death deteriorates at a slower rate, and that was believed to kind of counter the proxy singed.
Yeah.
But it affects the entire gameplay and makes it a little more snowbally. But he does go back and complete his Zonias on Excitedly on that Kennen, so that's going to be really good for his teamfight presence.
Just going to enable him to jump in, and as soon as the focus turns to him, he's going to hourglass, and that focus, they won't be able to focus him in that little split second where you're wondering where your Kennen went. It's going to enable the rest of his team to do more damage before Kingwood would have a chance to respond.
It also forces the team to have more coordination, because if they say focus the Kennen and he Zonias, then you have to quickly make a decision to swap people to a different target and back to the Kennen or leave the Kennen. Like, that really takes a good shot caller to really make those calls, because it happens in an instant. He Zonia'd, who do we go on? And if people panic and don't do anything and they stand in the slicing maelstrom, then they just took a lot of free damage they don't need to take. And wow, no stop, don't, not hesitating, using the Frozen Tomb onto Pont. Pont actually uses his Death Sentence onto Nigaplease. The Chain of Corruption coming out as well, and the Voodoo Llama missing the Orianna ultimate. Nigaplease taken down very low, and we're going to have the True Shot Barrage come across, but it's not going to finish him off. But Orianna's coming on the side. Voodoo Llama wanting to get in there, but they are pinging him back. And they say, no, don't do that, we have less people. So, looks like they, once again, Fullerton just slowly but surely walking away with this game. They are 4K ahead, and this Dragon control. Yeah, the Dragon control's definitely in their favor right now.
Dragon did just spawn, then Kingwood does not have any wards on it, so most likely we will see Fullerton come out and try and contest, take this Dragon. We have no stop, don't heading right down there, and he's just going to farm wraiths.
Yeah, but it looks like Thresh is actually going to come down bottom. Pont actually wanting to ward this up with that pink ward that he has and try and get some control over this. He does throw down pink ward. He does see that one pink ward, but they know that he threw that down now. And Zyra has her own pink ward to answer for that. But Pont brought another one just in case, so I think we're going to see some pink wards wars here.
Pink wars.
Some pink ward wars. Yep. Some PWW. And he's going to get 2 wards for the price of 1. For today, 1 pink ward gets you 2. So, looks like Death Sentence coming over the wall, not going to actually land on anybody. And we're going to see a Dragon dance right now.
And Ezreal just throws out his ult to kind of check where Dragon is. Took a good chunk off of no stop, don't.
And that Dragon is back and forth, back and forth. Doomed Thief actually wanting to engage on this. He does blow his ultimate, the Fury of the Sands, I believe, and he's going to be able to chunk it down so quickly, and it's gone. And it's gone.
Good play by Fullerton just to maintain that Dragon control and try and take it as quick as they can and minimize the risk.
And those pink wards really help with that. They just... Voodoo Llama has had teleport the entire game and hasn't utilized it at all. You would think you would see him pushing his lane when Lissandra goes to roam, just shoving that lane, using command attack, dissonance, clear the wave, and just start destroying the turret. And if an engagement happens, she can teleport in. But we haven't been seeing that coming out from Voodoo Llama on his Orianna. So the teleport has kind of been biting him.
The last engagement where about 5 minutes ago or something, when Lissandra went up top and ganked Riven, there was a ward that Riven had in the Tri-Brush, but Orianna didn't even attempt, Voodoo Llama didn't even attempt to teleport down there.
Speaking of ganking Riven, we have the Frozen Tomb and the Slicing Maelstrom come out, And that is 3 assists. That's 2 assists and a kill onto that Riven. Just destroyed him immediately. And this is the spillover from having other lanes do so well, just falling into your lane, and it's just never a good feeling. And they pick up that turret so easily for Fullerton, and Kingwood is getting backed against the wall right now.
Yeah, they're in a bad spot. They're about 6k gold behind, and this is still relatively early in the game, so that's a pretty big percentage of the gold that you have. So Fullerton will have better items.
Oh, and they want to go to Voodoo, and they take him out under turret so easily with Doomed Thief. And Voodoo Llama just runs up and says, I'm here too. Uses his ultimate, no stop, don't flashes it. Voodoo Llama actually getting really low here. The death sentence coming out to save him for just a second. Excitedly actually picks up that kill for himself, popping the box, trying to get Doomed Thief. Mr. Beans is in pursuit though. And it looks like they're probably going to get away from this. Mr. Beans is not fast enough. Swagger Badger grabbing the Dark Passage, having a little ride there. And it looks like nothing's going to come of that. And it is, if they did engage, it would be a 3v3 because Varus and Zyra are off to the side. But they aren't able to catch up to them, so they're just going to let that go. And they just makes the gold lead even further. 7k gold in favor of Fullerton right now.
And they also have 3 turrets to Kingwood's 0. And that's a lot of global gold as well.
And I believe they picked up both of the dragons as well. Because that Nasus does it so quickly, Doom Thief's been going in there. The first dragon did cost them 2 members, but dragon is always worth. Dragon is worth. So they ended up picking that up, and just that's when they started to solidify their gold lead. They got that 1k ahead, and that really helped Kennen out in the top. Kennen was not so far behind in CS, but it was noticeable, and that gave him that kind of extra bump that he needed to start having lane presence once again, and those ganks started coming in as well. So blue buff is up, and I think we're going to see a contest for it. I think No Stop Don't really doesn't like Orianna having that blue buff. He really wants to be a terror and just really wants to harass and make this Orianna, the Voodoo Llama, have a bad day.
He's already given her a pretty bad day.
And so Ezreal immediately getting the Iceborne Gauntlet after picking up the Monomoon, so he's going to have lower CDR, or higher CDR, and Swagger Badger actually in pursuit of Nigga Please. Nigga Please throws out the Chain of Corruption to try and stop him, and it does stop him in his tracks, but the Swagger Badger's going to have to back up because No Stop Don't's right there. Gonna get the root on him. Swagger Badger taking a lot of damage here, pops the Blade of the Exile. The Zonias comes out. Swagger Badger trying to get No Stop Don't. The True Shot Barrage is a second too late, and he doesn't get taken out there, and Voodoo Llama trying to get some damage in there. The Dark Passage is going to help him get out of there. So, wow. So Swagger Badger gets picked up unanswered, except for a lot of damage on No Stop Don't, who has 2 forms of invulnerability for himself, the Zonias and the Frozen Tomb.
Which he didn't even have to use.
Yeah, he didn't even have to use the Frozen Tomb. I think he was saving it for himself, or possibly for Riven, but Riven dropped so quickly that it wasn't a problem at all. So he still has that ultimate up for the next team fight. And that was my Facebook, everybody. I apologize. I will close that right now. I shouldn't have had that up. It was in the background, and you know it's one of those things that when you hear that sound, you're like, oh, I got to check my Facebook now because everybody has it up, and it's gonna throw some people for a loop. I mean, I've watched like some YouTube videos where they have like that little chime happens in it, and I immediately check my Facebook like, did I get a message? No, it wasn't me. It's like when you hear somebody's cell phone ringtone, it's the same as yours. You immediately check yours on instinct, or I guess not on instinct, but on condition. You've been conditioned to that kind of response. So it looks like, oh, Death Sentence not hitting anybody, but Nigga Please still gonna poke out and hit Swagger Badger there for a tiny bit of damage. And it looks like the siege on this middle turret started with an 8k gold advantage for Fullerton, but they are looking to engage this. They want to go in on this. No Stop Don't has the Frozen Tomb. His Zonias, I believe, is up again.
Is up.
So there's 2 Zonias actually, Excitedly and No Stop Don't. So if they engage this with their mages, they'll be pretty safe.
Yeah, they have the. It makes it really hard for Kingwood to choose a target to focus.
Voodoo Llama,
just because of that.
Voodoo Llama has to be.
Zonias.
This is the time. They would have a 4v5 fight right now. This is the time for them to engage or get this turret. One of the two. They have to make a decision right now. And it looks like the Chain of Corruption went out, but it didn't hit anybody. And so Voodoo Llama's going to come back to this lane. They're going to have that Orianna presence in the wave clear once again. So Pont not landing that death sentence, and the Chain of Corruption not landing from Nigga Please OP. So the Swagger Badge are going to back now, and they're just going to pick up another dragon for themselves. So that's the third dragon for Fullerton.
And that Ezreal misses everybody.
A little late. He did get 19 gold for it, though, so that was worth it. Oh, and the flash death sentence not hitting anybody. Pont putting himself at risk here. The Orianna ultimate coming across. They do get dig, and excitedly blows his Zonius and his Slicing Maelstrom. He is very low, though. The Orianna attack, command attack comes out. He does have Ignite. He does get taken out here. Mr. Bean needs one more hit on him. He does kill him, but he does get answered himself. A no stop don't is in pursuit. Swagger Badger blows the Blade of the Exile proc onto nothing, and Swagger Badger's dueling Nigga Please. And Nigga Please uses the barrier, and that's an ace for Fullerton.
Was that a 4v5 ace?
That was a 3v5 that turned into a 4v5. Wow. Doomed Thief coming up, like, hey guys, I'm Nasus, I'm helping a lot. Which he is helping a lot because he's going to take this turret so quickly and tank it for Nigga Please OP as well. The Siphoning Strike doing so much damage to it as well. But, wow, that was the power of the Zonias right there. They were doing damage without having damage answered on them. So no stop, don't, and excitedly, that double AP comp doing so much damage, and no Bulwark out yet. No Aegis of the Legion either.
And I think that's a pretty big mistake on Thresh's part. And we have a pause coming out. We do not know what for yet. Okay, someone says lag spikes. Well,
Voodoo picks up basically pure damage. Looks like he's going after the Black Cleaver build with that Brutalizer and the Ruby crystal currently, alongside the Wriggle's Lantern. So his Xin Zhao is looking to just clear the jungle and do some damage, but I don't think that's what he needs. I think he might need an Aegis of the Legion, transferring that into a Bulwark, and then really providing those resistances for his team. But he has opted not to do that, and I think it's really putting his team in a very difficult situation. So, because the double AP comp is coming out for Fullerton, Kingswood has no answer for this currently. They don't have anybody with magic resist aside from the Orianna with the Athene's Unholy Grail, and the Merc Treads coming out as well. That's pretty much all that they have against the double AP comp. And the fact that Varus also does mainly, well, not mainly, he does a lot of magic damage. But it ends up as magic damage. Whereas Vayne's Silver Bolt is true damage. Yeah. So Varus's Blighted Quiver ends up being magic damage at the end of the day. So if those final hits are going to be all magic damage when he tries to burst you when you're running. So not really the best builds coming out here for the situation for Team Kingswood. So it's really something that, you know, they might have to think about in this best of 3. They might have to say, you know what, this is what we got to pick something tankier. We got to pick more resistances, because they've stayed dead even in the beginning, and things just started to trickle out of control. They didn't have the dragon control because of that Xin Zhao, because Nasus provides so much. They didn't have the lane presence that they wanted from Riven. He kept going in and getting killed or stopped by Excitedly. So now they have a level advantage, a gold advantage, and a turret advantage for Fullerton. So Fullerton's looking to close this game out as soon as they possibly can. The longer the game goes on, the more chances you give the other team to come back.
Right. We have another pause coming out.
Oh, you might have actually been ahead of me, because you said that from like 2 seconds before me. I think I didn't actually jump to live afterwards.
That would be why.
There's a little glitch with the game sometimes. After a pause, the live isn't actually live anymore. Like that little bar at the bottom of my screen that shows the timer actually gets about 2-3 seconds behind. So I thought you were a wizard there for a second. Are you a wizard?
No, I'm not a wizard.
But I do play AP mids.
So I'm a caster?
I don't know. They are changing that though. Did you see that post by Morello?
Oh, what did they change?
He no longer wants the terms like ADC, AD carry, and things like that. they're changing it to marksmen.
Oh.
Marksmen are the people who build damage and have range, but sacrifice defenses for it. And then there's the tanky characters. I forgot what they called them. Then there's the fighters, who are like Renekton, who last a long time in a fight and really build tanky in order to do the damage that they need to do, because the more durable they are, the more damage they deal in a fight because they're alive longer. Then there's basically the mages, which are the AP. Then there are the assassins. So those are like the new tags he's looking at. So looks like the game is going to resume right on time, because I had nothing else to say about that. So we're going to get back into this game. Well, Fullerton on the blue side, 16-5 up in kills, 5-0 up in towers, and 3-0, I believe, up in dragons against Kingwood.
Yep.
So,
with about 11k gold lead.
oh, they're doing really well. They really let this snowball in their favor, and that has a lot to do with No Stop Don't when he started roaming and got that first turret.
Right. I mean, he roamed top. He tried roaming bottom. He got kills multiple times. And he really put a lot of pressure on the map.
And since he was roaming, that also allowed Nasus to go top and get those kills on Kennen.
We have another pause.
We have another pause coming out now. And I talked about jumping to live once again, and I didn't do it. But I haven't been looking at that. But so this looks like, I don't know what the pause is for, but all I know is that there's a pause coming out, and we're just going to continue this like normal. So the blue buff does look like it's up, and it looks like Fullerton doesn't have vision of it, but they pinged it. So I think they want to get that on No Stop Don't once again. Get that Lissandra, the blue buff, and they are just 10k gold ahead now, 10.6k gold ahead, and they're really looking for that team fight. They know they're ahead. They know that they're beefy. And they know they have the Zonias in their pockets too to keep their mages safe. So they're going to start sieging this tower down. What do you think is going to happen here?
We'll probably see Lissandra try and go in and ult someone, or if Zirene catches someone with the grasping roots, we'll probably see an engage come out. But looks like they probably don't even need to do that, because they poked the turret down so low with 3 ranged characters.
And I don't know if Voodoo is the one having the connection problems, but he was dancing there. So, but, wow. So this turret might get taken down completely unanswered. That piercing arrow taking out most of the wave there. So it's going to be right up in their face. And we have the True Shot Barrage coming across. It's going to hit multiple members, but not enough. And we do have the Death Sentence landing on Dig. He does use the follow-up on it really close. There's all these ultimates coming across, but No Stop Don't has Zonia, and Voodoo can't do any damage to him. The Slicing Maelstrom just shredding up the back line, and that's going to be a 0 for 5 in the favor of Fullerton. They take this inhibitor turret and the inhibitor from Kingwood, and it looks like they want to close this game out. And that is a surrender coming out from Kingwood. Fullerton going to take this game 1 of this best of 3, and they're going to take that so convincingly. Wow.
I almost thought that Kingwood might have won that team fight, but then they just didn't have the damage to burst down anyone, and then Kennen and Lissandra just let their AoEs loose, and it just shredded everybody. Slicing Maelstrom just burned through Oriana's health very quickly.
Yeah, and Lissandra doing a lot of damage there, and it was really quick. And yeah, I do apologize that the games are kind of one-sided currently, Corbid. Because of that, the reason that is this is the first round. When you have 32 teams and they are randomly seeded against each other, you're going to have some teams that have better coordination than others, and that's just how things are going to happen. And the reason that's going to happen is because you're going to have silvers versus golds. You're going to have diamonds versus silvers. But then as the games progress, you're going to have more and more interesting matches the further things go along. Because right now you're going to have maybe a diamond versus a silver, and then a plat versus a silver. And then the plat wins and the diamond wins. That means round 2, you're going to have a diamond versus a plat. So the natural progression of this is going to help make the games more interesting. And, you know, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for coming in here. And currently, we have no sponsors, but it is the High School Star League. We are looking for sponsors. We're looking for Twitch partnership as well. So follow us on Twitch. Go to check out the highschoolstarleague.com or the hsstarleague.com. Follow us on Twitter at hsstarleague, or Facebook as well. And If you have anything you want to say to us, suggestions, complaints, you can go ahead and check us out. Or I believe there's an anonymous suggestion/complaint box down bottom, all the way at the bottom, if you want to help us out. Say what you think, and if you think something else is gonna, if you want to say something that'll make us better, hit us up with that. And it looks like we're gonna get into